What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Forza Horizon 3. Now, this is the sort of car you would expect to be rallying, the Audi Sport Quattro S1. It is an awesome rally car with rally suspension, rally tyres, and it's all round a really awesome rally car. This, however, is not the sort of car you would expect to see rallying. It's the Dodge Viper Dodge SRT Viper GT SR, I believe, and you would expect this to be on a circuit, going quick around a circuit, not off-road. But I wanted to see what would happen if I took race cars off-road rallying. We're going to start off with the Audi Quattro. This is basically going to be a benchmark time. I'm not going to actually tell you the time right now. We'll get to all the times at the end. But this car, I took this car around. I can't remember what it's called. It's like the Woom. It's got a really Woomerada. It's got a really weird name that I cannot pronounce right now, and I can't really remember. But I took it around a rally stage. Basically, I just had one good kind of run with each car. We'd be starting off with the Audi Quattro to set kind of a benchmark for the cars to beat. And yeah, obviously this car was good. I mean, this is a rally car, and on a rally stage like this, it is perfectly fine. The first proper car, race car we'd be driving would be the Holden VF Commodore V8 supercar. Now, I did also do the Ford Falcon FGX, but I haven't actually recorded that one. I will show you the time of it at the end. But basically, the Holden and the Ford were pretty much the same. So I'm just showing you the Holden because, well, I'm personally more of a fan of the Holden. Now, this car, the Audi, was almost at the top of S1 class. This Holden and the Ford both right at the very top of S1 class. So S1 900 PI, and it was actually okay. It dealt with the bumps and the jumps quite well. However, you can definitely tell it wasn't meant for rallying. Up next would be the Audi R8 LMS, LMS Ultra. Now, this car, the rest of the cars are in S2 class. This one is around mid S2 class, about something. It's just around about mid, I'm pretty sure. About 860 or something, 960. I can't remember how the PI system works off the top of my head. The Audi was okay. I get a little bit bad over the jumps there. This was, you know, the suspension on this is. I imagine this is where it looks quite a bit lower down than the V8 supercars, and was kind of getting chucked around a little bit more than the Holden and the Ford were. However, it wasn't too bad. Up next would be the BMW Z4. This car was actually pretty decent. I was quite surprised by how good this was. The Audi, like I said, wasn't terrible. By the way, the Audi, although the standard Audi R8 is all-wheel drive, the race car versions, all these race cars are rear-wheel drive. I'm pretty sure the Audi Quattro is the only one that is all-wheel drive. That's if it is all-wheel drive. I didn't actually check, but I presume it was. But yeah, the BMW was actually quite good. I mean, yeah, it's a race car driving a rally stage off-road. However, it didn't do too bad. It dealt with the bumps fairly well. I mean, it got bounced up a lot, but you know, for a race car, it definitely didn't do bad. Now we go on to the Chevrolet Corvette Stingray C7R. This was probably the worst car. As you see here, I get over that jump and it really gets unhappy over that jump there. And you may also be able to tell that the visibility is absolute arse. You can't, like, the way the roof kind of and the roll cage are kind of up the top there, it makes it, when you get to bits like this and when you're going around corners that are slightly elevated, it's kind of hard to see where you're going. As you can see here, a little bit hard to see where you're going. All round, the Corvette wasn't particularly good. It's probably the worst car I had driven so far. Up next, it would be the Dodge Viper GTS. Now, this thing was alright. Once again, visibility isn't great. However, it is, although it doesn't really look it, for some reason it felt better than the Corvette. I don't know what it was about that Corvette, just you really couldn't see very well. All these cars so far around about the same PI, about 950 I believe, mid S2 class. Once again, this Viper was okay. It actually dealt with the bumps fairly well. Yes, it's a race car on a rally course. However, all things considered, it did pretty damn well. And yeah, the Viper was actually quite good. It felt a lot like the BMW in some ways. Next up, the Ferrari 458 Speciale. I believe it's a Speciale. This car was almost identical to the Viper. It felt pretty much the same to drive. and I mean, in a second you'll see how close the Viper and the Ferrari were in lap times. It's ridiculously close, and yeah, it basically just felt like the Viper. I mean, it pretty much drove the same. It dealt with the bumps all right, all things considered. It had the speed. All round, it was a pretty good car, the Ferrari. And you know, at this point, I was thinking, you know, yes, the race cars aren't quite as suited as rally cars. However, they're definitely not bad. Up next would be the Ford GT, the new one, and this is the race car version, of course. This would be the second highest PI car of them all. The other cars that we've had so far have been around about 950 to 960 PI. This car about 968, I believe, off the top of my head. 968, something like that. And it was okay. There's a little bit at the start of this rally course that I haven't actually shown you because I want to show the off-road, but there's a little bit of on-road. This car was very, very quick there. However, it didn't feel very fast on the on-road. I don't know what it was. It just didn't handle particularly great compared to a lot of the other cars, and didn't feel very fast. Up next would be the Lamborghini Huracan. Now this car was actually very, very good. I was really impressed with how this car drove. Over that bump there, yeah, we got bumped around a bit, however we didn't lift up off the ground or anything, and it's very, very controllable. This Huracan, it's rear-wheel drive, as I was saying before. All the cars, the race cars, are rear-wheel drive, and this just dealt with it really well. I was actually really surprised with this Huracan. Kind of up to this point, I'd say that probably the BMW, Ferrari, the Dodge were probably the best cars. But then I drove this, and this just, it felt even better, and I was really, really happy with that car. And the final car would be the Nissan GTR, a car that I absolutely love. I will be honest, not as big of a fan of the racing version as I am of kind of just a standard GTR. This car is the highest PI car we had, with about, I think, 970 PI, and it was okay. Once again, rear-wheel drive, not all-wheel drive. It felt fairly quick, but I don't know. It felt quick, but it didn't feel as quick as, say, the Viper, the Lamborghini, the BMW. However, it definitely wasn't a bad car at all. We go on to the times, and we actually have the Lamborghini Huracan in first with a 2 minutes 52.105. It beats the Audi Quattro's 254.908. So the Quattro, the rally car, does get beaten by the Huracan. Only one race car beating the rally car though. We then have the BMW with a 255.309. We have the Audi with a 255.375. Then we have a tie between the Dodge Viper and the Ferrari 458 with a 255.442. Yeah, those two cars had exactly the same time. I am not even joking you, they were the exact same time. Then it's the Nissan GTR with a 256.2. We have the Ford GT with a 257.1, just didn't really deal with the course that well. The Corvette with a 3 minutes .514, and then the Falcon and the Commodore with a 3 minutes 2.2 and a 3 minutes 2.4. So there we go. If you do want to have a rally car, you know, if you want to do rallying, I'd personally stick to a rally car rather than driving a race car. But anyway, that is going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please go ahead, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.